Hello, this is Mr. Calzone. As you can see, I'm loading into Kerbal Space Program. This is a game I've been following for a while, and I'm looking forward to doing a career Let's Play of. I'm really going to enjoy taking you all the way from starting out with basic rocketry to getting to other planets and doing some more of the advanced things that Kerbal Space Program allows you to do. I've been following it for a while, and one of my favorite YouTubers myself of this series in particular is Scott Manley and his Interstellar Quest program. I really enjoyed that series, and it's one of the things that's helped inspire me to want to do my own series. I hope you'll join me for more of these videos as I make them, as I'll be making them at a leisurely pace over the next few weeks. I hope you enjoy watching me play, and that you enjoy the game as a whole, and I strongly encourage you to watch other Let's Players, and to invest in the game yourself. It's quite fun, very entertaining, learning much of the science behind how things are done, how to get rockets into space, and then what to do with them from there. It's a very entertaining process, and one that many children all over the world are going through with us right now with this program. The Kerbal EDU program is going to be very inspirational, and they're going to help a lot of our younger generation rediscover the joys of spaceflight and learning about our future among the stars. I very much look forward to playing this, so let's get to it. We're going to go ahead and start new. Let's go with, well, just my channel name. The simplest way to go about things. There we go. Okay, as you can see, I'm going to be picking one of the newer logos that came with the update that just came out a little while ago. All of the corporate logos from the variety of companies within the Kerbal Space Program that they had that contest a ways back for. A lot of these logos are very interesting and very entertaining. I enjoy most of them thoroughly. I am going to pick... let's go with... C7 Aerospace. C7. Now, one of the great freeform exploration game in a variety of ways, in that you have the freedom to do whatever you can build a craft to do. Now, I know there are videos of various YouTubers who have been able to take Day 1 or Day 2 spacecraft and obtain ludicrous amounts of science. I'm not one of those YouTubers. I'm fairly skilled at this, but not very. One of the first things I'm going to do is one of the simplest by far. Command pod. We're going to name it Test Craft 1. Odd. Designed to bring curveballs to the pad. All this is really going to do for us, literally all it's going to do is be on the launch pad for a crew report, a surface sample, and an EVA report, to give us some of our basic starting science, just right there from the launch pad, because there's a surprising amount of science you can gather just from the launch pad itself, without having to have any rocketry involved at all, and have total 100% recoverability. Now, since we're on the launch pad, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the monopropellant from the pod. Since we don't need it, we don't need to spend the money on it in the first place. Therefore, we don't take any hits for recovering it. Now, for our venerable crew, we're going to take along not Jebediah Kermit. He doesn't do mundane things such as sitting in a command pod on the launch station. So, he will not be going on this ride. No, we will have lowly Bob Kerman, the science officer of the three. He'll be taking a look at the interior of the command pod and the basic science of the launch pad. Come on, Bob, let's go. We'll save our little contraption and head out to the launch pad. As you can get here really isn't that much, but it's worth it. You unlock some more parts and the ability to launch ships further and higher, which is needed if you're going to commit to some of the earlier contracts. Here we are, on the launch pad. Nothing to do but look around. Take a crew report, 1.5 science. Not a whole lot, but worth mentioning. Bob hops out, we take an EVA report from the side of the craft, a whole 5.6 science. That's already enough to get the first tier of science. Keep data. Now we have Bob hop off and take a look around at the surface here, and we go, this looks vaguely like a launch pad. Maybe we should take a sample. So here we have a whole nother 9 science just from getting out and walking around at the launch pad. It's worth the time, and getting data like this from somewhere you would expect them to already have all of the science data they would need is going to happen a lot, because you're going to need to revisit places you've already been with instruments that you've only freshly unlocked. Let's see, keep data. Now you saw that remainder portion, which means that there's more science to be gathered from taking surface samples from the launch pad, which means you're going to need to come here again at some point to get more. Now since we're going to be at the launch pad a lot, that'll probably happen again sometime soon. So now we go over here, we grab the hold, and we reboard the craft. We go up here, and we get a nice little recover vessel sign. Let's see how much science we got. Well, it looks like we got a whole whopping 16 science from just walking around on the launch pad and taking some basic measurements, crew reports, and EVA reports. All of those are very handy early on when you need just a little bit of science to help you unlock a bunch of parts that you don't have access to yet. We recovered the ship with no problems. A very good thing. So, our first bit of science to unlock is just right here. Basic rocketry. How hard can rocket science be, anyway? Spend 5 science, and we have now unlocked a whole stack of parts. These are all very handy parts and essential for further rocket building. See, I find the decouplers rather necessary. There's a video of Scott Manley taking the basic parts and using the RT-10 solid fuel booster to decouple itself. That's a very advanced technique that I myself have not mastered and don't necessarily plan to. I might have to later on, but right now, I'm going to stick with some more traditional style rocket building. So we've unlocked the new level of science, the new tanks, and some more science materials that we can then also study from the launch pad or other locations to give us yet more science. We really want to get into some of these as soon as we can, especially, in my opinion, survivability. That side-attaching parachute can mean the difference between life and death for a lot of failed craft attempts. Building spacecraft and getting them to work can sometimes be a pain in the butt, so getting the ability to attach parachutes to the parts that you really want to survive and be able to recover is very important, especially when you don't think one of the standard parachutes you get will cover things. This is a good parachute, but it's a little inconvenient. Requiring it to be placed on an attachment point means that there's only so many places it can go. But, as I said, getting the survivability allows you to place those radial parachutes anywhere you need them. So, in the next episode, we'll deal with launching our first rocket and moving forward. This is Mr. Calzone.